is Jackie. I'm here with your All Access interview. I'm here with ZZ Ward of Day One of Kentucky's Forecastle Festival. You yourself are based in Oregon, is that correct?
Well, I'm from Oregon, and I live there. I pretty much grew up out in the middle of nowhere since I was about 8, and then I moved to LA about 5 years ago. So I live in LA. I'm barely there now, but I live in LA. Yeah.
When you are in LA, what radio stations do you find yourself tuning to?
I don't remember the names of them. I think KCRW and oh my gosh,
We'll check some more for you. No worries. What were some bands, whether it was on the radio or cassette, CD, record, that you found yourself listening to growing up that affect your current sound?
Definitely like a lot of old blues, like Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf and Big Mama Thornton. And then on the hip-hop side of things, like Jay-Z and Nas and Lil Kim. So it's just kind of a mixture of like...
I was going to say your sound is definitely an amalgamation of those two sort of far-reaching sounds.
Did you say an amalgamation?
Yes.
Oh, that's a cool word. I don't think I've ever heard that word before, an amalgamation.
Yeah.
I'd like to steal that and make it my own.
There you go. Feel free. Why do you think that especially teens, when they're growing up, turn to music when things get tough?
I think because it's, something they can relate to, I would think. I mean, when I was listening to music growing up, it was like if my parents didn't understand, it was like I at least felt like there were artists that did understand and that were going through, similar situations that I was going through. And, it's like our albums and artist music, like it becomes a soundtrack to a lot of different people's lives. So, at least that's what inspires me, so.
Very true. When did you know that music was going to be your career?
I think I knew my whole life. Really, there was nothing else I really wanted to do. I went to college for a couple years, but I think knowing that I wanted to really do music. But I was just really out in the middle of nowhere, so I really had to, find the confidence and find the courage to move to the big city. And I think that was the hardest thing for me to do, really, because, country girl. So it was like the driving with like 5 lanes of traffic on the freeway was like the scariest thing in the world for me. So I made it happen, though.
Very good. Your sound has evolved in part to some of the collaborations you've done with other artists. Who else have you worked with recently?
Recently, on my new album, it was produced by this incredible producer. His name is S1 and myself, and he's produced for Kanye West and for Rihanna and for Beyonce, and he has an incredible sensibility about production, and so I worked with him, which was amazing. And then I have Pell on my new record. He's a great new rap artist out of New Orleans. So those are some, yeah.
And so your newest album comes out it's set for about a September release. Is that correct?
September 18th.
September.
It's called This Means War.
This Means War is coming out September 18th. What was the toughest part of the recording process? You said that it sounds like the producing part was easy, but sometimes recording is not as fun.
Well, no, I felt like it's all really fun. It's actually like my favorite thing to do, to be honest. Like I love playing live, and there's like an immediate gratification you get from playing live. But like being in the studio, it's a much slower gratification. Like sometimes it takes days to finish the song. So you really have to trust your gut and what you think sounds good. I'd say the hardest part was probably like when I first started writing again, because I'd been on tour so much and not writing a lot. And it was really hard to find time to write. So when I first got back into writing, it was like, can I do this again? I don't know if I can do this again. I'm so far from that headspace. And then it was like, once I got into it, it was like, oh yeah, I can do this again. And I love it.
Speaking of songwriting, what are some things or some people that influenced the writing on the record?
Let me think. On the record, really, for me, I just wanted to go deeper into the sounds and the inspirations that I had gone into on my first album. So for me, I wanted to go further into hip-hop, and I wanted to go further into blues and mesh those together. While being more rhythmic, I wanted to really kind of try to keep things up sometimes in tempo, be very rhythmic, because I know those things live hit really hard. And I wanted the second album to be very authentic to me and what I was going through in my life, which is a little different than what I was going through on the first album, but still very, it captures, it's amazing when you sit back and you watch what you wrote about on an album, because you really see, like, it was really a time in my life, and even though I didn't know I was expressing myself as much, it's incredible how genuine it really is to what was going on in my life when I wrote it. So
Kind of like a time capsule of sorts.
yeah, it really is.
Why do you think love is such a common topic when it comes to song lyrics?
Because it's like something that we all deal with in like one way or the other. Like it's like we're either heartbroken or you're in love, or a lot of the things I talk about on the second album is that when you get into a relationship, sometimes the battle has really just begun. And so that's kind of the theme of the new album, because it's not necessarily like, oh my gosh, I've fallen in love and now everything's perfect. It's like not true. It's like now maybe you've fallen in love and there's a part of you that's like, this is the best thing I've ever had, and there's another part of you that's like, but I don't know, can we keep it together? And you're coming with your baggage and I'm coming with my baggage, and is it going to work? So it's like there's just so many different angles that you can write about when you're talking about love. So I think that's probably why it comes up so much.
And your current single is Love 3 Times, or Love, Love, Love.
Yeah.
The video is simple, but it's also very eye-catching. Who came up with the treatment for that?
I was actually really heavily involved in this music video, more so than I'd ever been before. It was really important to me to try and push the envelope and really create a video that was, very memorable, I think. I really wanted to do that. I really wanted to do something that was like almost a combination of visual art put to music. That's what I really wanted to do. I didn't necessarily want to go for a movie-esque, this is us in the relationship. I wanted to do something more visually stimulating than that. So I worked with these directors out of the UK that go by MIE. They were incredibly wonderful to work with, very collaborative. And, I was inspired by Yellow Submarine. I was inspired by Salvador Dali when making the new music video. So it's definitely a different video than I've ever done before, but I think I'm probably the most proud of it.
Excellent. So what are some of the benefits of putting out a music video in 2015 when we no longer have a channel on TV to watch them?
I know, but the thing is, for me, like, I really feel like, and one thing I'm really having fun with on the new album is that my creativity doesn't have to stop with the writing of the songs. It's not like I write the songs and then I go, how do we produce them? And then somebody else can do a music video. It's like, at this point in my career, I'm like, let's produce them together. Let's see it out to the end. And even visually, like, how do I want to deliver this to my fans? How do I want them to see this song that means something to me? And you can really have fun with that from, like, the beginning to the end of every project now. And I'm really trying to, kind of push it and take it as far as I can with the whole, delivery of the album. So I think when doing music videos, we're actually doing a lot of music videos for songs that aren't even singles on this album. And one of the reasons is because it's just, like, I don't know, making the album was a very visual process for me. I watched a lot of music videos on mute just to, like, keep myself in one frame of mind. So when it came to how I wanted to show that to my fans, I was like, we should just do a lot of visuals. So
it's nice that you're hands-on throughout the process.
I'm really into it. I can't tell you, I'm just so passionate about it, and I'm really excited about the album.
It shows. So you're here at Forecastle. What's up next for you?
I'm going to go into rehearsals for about a month and plan the new show and just figure it out from the bottom to the top. And we're going to have some oldies but goodies in there, and then some more new music. And I'm really excited to see how those come to fruition and just, what happens with them. So I'm going to go into rehearsals for about a month, and then we hit the road the end of August for about 3 months, and we're going all over the place. So
stay tuned for the Jack of all trades, Susie Ward. This is Jackie, thanks to All Access and In the Key of Change. Great. Thank you so much. Would you mind coming over?